All right, let's do this video here. All right, let me see. All right, sorry, I'm doing a video without my big monitor, so it's a little different. So today I want to talk about a loss that I took on Nas. Not just a loss. I actually took multiple losses because I went on tilt a little bit, but it's okay. I only wiped away a day and a half of profits. So took a couple losses that I should not have took. When I'm looking on Nas, and what I realized the mistake that I made, and pretty much the essentials of what I need to actually focus on, is I need to just focus on, because I'm trading on the 1 minute. I need to just focus on market structure on the 5 and the 15 minute. The reason why I say that, because if I look on the 1 hour, I think I was so concerned pre-market with this consolidation in this area, and literally like right before the market opened, we had a big jump right here. Price jumped huge out of this actual zone, came back down, and I was so worried and so concerned. But I should have just paid attention. Like if I look on a 5 minute, according to market structure, this was a high. This high right here was never broken, right? And this high, so which means this low is like the last valid low. Even though we got a low here, I don't really validate this low because this high never really broke this high. So as long as price don't break above here or break below here, we pretty much within this vicinity. So once price broke up here, that is clearly telling me we're in an uptrend, 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 uptrend. So once I drop down to my 1 minute, the only thing I should have been looking for is buys, a part of my actual overall bias, because I look at price on a higher time frame, and then I drop down to the 1 minute, and on my 1 minute, that's when I actually I trade, and I trade supply and demand setups. So if you look here, you see that price was moving down. We're in an uptrend. So what you see here, you see what I do is my strategy is I pretty much just look. I look at the last opposite candle. So if I'm going up, I'm looking at the last red candle that will get engulfed by a green candle. So you see here, this is exactly what happened. So you see here, this is exactly what happened. This red candle got engulfed by this green candle, and then from this red candle, I draw a box, including the wicks, and then when price comes down, taps my zone, I get in for a trade. And you see here, there's a nice 1 to 2, right? So price came back up again. The same thing. We had a red candle. This candle didn't engulf it, but this next candle engulfed it. All right, and then what do you see? The next candle after that, tap zone, tap me in my buy, came back up, right? And again, right, we came back down. This red candle got engulfed by this candle, these two, right? Price came back up, tapped my zone, and as you can see, so I mean, there's a plethora of trades, but I was so confused. I was switching bias. Like when I when I saw this, for some weird reason, I took this as an indication. Because not only do supply and demand, I also look at market structure and ICC, so indication, correction, continuation. I was looking at this as if it's an indication, but an indication doesn't count if it doesn't break the last swing low. Oh man! So my bias was according. If I look at everything, let me look at the 15 minute. So weird doing this actually on my laptop computer, not my big monitor. My bias was actually according to the 15-minute time frame. If it didn't break that low, then there's no way that we're in a downtrend. So I had absolutely no business when this thing went down like this. It didn't even break this, which is the last valid low, because this is last valid high, which makes this low valid. It didn't even break this. We were nowhere close to this area before this setup happened. So I should have been looking for buys. So I don't know. I just confused myself today, which reminded me to just stay focused on what matters, as far as trading, right? What is market structure? You got lows and you got highs. When those lows and those highs are you know overcame. So like say if you got price on an uptrend, right? You got a low, you got a high, and then it makes a low, a higher low. Then come price comes back and it beats that last high. So that last high has to be retested. Then it comes back and make another one. So when you break structure, that's when you come back down, because this is high, and this was the previous high, right? Which makes this low valid because this high beat that high. So if you come back down and you break that high, then the market is looking like it's about to change, right? It's a change of character. You're about to change structure. It isn't until we come back up, retest this area because what was once resistance becomes support, retest this area, then come back down, then that's a confirmed change of structure. You are now in a downtrend. But if that never, so I'm like, man, I really tripped myself out today. But it's okay because sometimes um it happened. Let me go back. I don't think my Wi-Fi is the best. So basically, what happened today? It seems the data. There we go. The data wasn't printing on these candles. I think because I'm doing a recording. So what happened today was I kept changing my bias and I misread the market. Just something as basic as market structure. I think I started paying too much attention to I guess it was FOMO. I started paying too much attention to the last day, like the looking at market structure and how price was consolidating. I was so nervous and so scared not to get caught in that consolidation. I just stopped paying attention to what market structure was showing me and how we were actually making new highs. All I had to do was pay attention to that bias, and I started actually what caused my losses is up in here. I started taking buys at the top um, on a 1 minute. So, like, say for example, um, I had a red candle. Get rid of this one here. So, like, I had this red candle get engulfed by this candle, and then it come back, boom, it touched me in. So what I did was let me make this a little bit bigger. So what I did was I'm like, okay, this red candle is here. This is my zone. This is the engulfing candle. Okay, I'm touched in right here. So I would get in a trade right here. But what's crazy is that even if I did that, even if I actually got in a trade right there, I still would have got a 1-to-1. I still would have got a 1-to-1. Or I could have got out once it came back to break even. So it's just that really just trusting in the process. That's all I got to do. So that's why I lost some Nas today.